All right, so we'll call the meeting to order at 12:57 p.m. Let me go back to, hopefully you guys can still see the agenda.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. So as we've noted, we do not have quorum. Our excused members are Camilla, Joe, and Augie. But I would like to say, is it okay if we can go ahead and continue to record this for just notability with us? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so introduction of committee members and board liaison. So again, my name is Laura Pangratz. I'm your chairperson for the Ocean Pines Association Bylaws and Resolutions Advisory Committee. I have one other committee member present. Keith, would you introduce yourself, please?
Keith Kaiser, the only other committee member present.
Thank you. Would our board liaison introduce himself, please?
I don't think he heard you.
Steve, would you introduce yourself?
Oh, Steve Jacobs, board member, board liaison.
Thank you. And then, as I mentioned, we have some committee members that are excused, Camilla, Joe, and Augie. I believe we do have one guest with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure, Bob Hilligus.
Thank you.
The only guest.
Well, since we don't have quorum, we can't really approve the agenda and everything. We do have minutes that are prepared from our February meeting, but we cannot approve them either today. So we will do that at the next committee meeting. Do we have any public comments from our guests?
I have nothing to offer.
Okay. All right. So I will share my report. So let's see. Back in February, I had spoken with the chairperson, Doug Parks, of the Budget and Finance Committee. He had reached out to me with some questions because of our February meeting. The video had some glitches in it, and he wanted to make sure he didn't miss anything.
Yes.
Hold on, sorry. That was my 1 o'clock medicine alert, but I took them 10 minutes early, so we're good. Let's see what else. Oh, and I had emailed Linda to post our approved January meeting minutes, which she did, as well as our agenda for today. I did manage to attend in person the directors meeting on February 22nd. And I did attend the season kickoff meeting on the 21st. So obviously my to-do tasks, I will be either attending virtually or I will watch the replay of the March directors meeting and most likely the April one. My goal is to be back in Ocean Pines by May. So we'll see how that goes. But does anybody have any other questions for my report?
Nope.
Okay. So Steve, do you have anything you want to share?
No, I guess I do want to make sure that you got or was able to open up the red line version of M08 that we had emailed back and forth about earlier in the month.
I believe I did. I've been a little distracted.
Understood. Yeah.
So I think we found a way to get them open. I know Keith had tried to find one too for us. So we'll go back. We'll look at that again.
Well, the one that I sent you, I think, is the correct version. My recollection is you had said to me you couldn't open it up. And I thought Keith's expertise would be better than mine. So I suggest you may want to talk to him.
Yeah, I hope
I'm going to try to get you nothing else, a hard copy, but I just want to make sure you have it.
Yes.
For the next meeting, we can discuss M08.
Yeah.
Yeah, I opened it and sent it back to Laura.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
good.
Well, as you know, the end of February, the 24th, I got a call and I had to go to Baltimore by 11 o'clock that night. So Tuesday morning, February 25th, I received a new kidney. And so from that point on, things have been a little bit of a blur, so I will, now that I'm kind of home and I can do my stuff on the laptop, I'll get back into getting updated on some of that stuff too.
Okay.
Okay.
I have nothing else.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Now, under unfinished business, I really just kind of listed the ones that we had talked about at the last meeting. The only update that I wanted to share was about the season kickoff. I did ask about the electricity, and we can have electricity at our table. So if we want to still do the same type of layout, that we did last year with the monitor and all of that, we should be able to do it. So, and I had already put in the registration form, completed and turned that in. Again, it's on May 17th, but this year it's going to be at the Veterans Memorial Park, not where the farmers market was. And it'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is kind of nice. It means we get to end the day early. We don't have to hang out there till dinner time. So that's the update. They are aware that I can't attend any meetings right now either, but they'll keep me updated and everything like that. Anybody have any questions on that? Because we really can't discuss a whole lot for all of this stuff.
All good.
Okay. So under new business, I did add what Keith had shared with us, that B01 and F01 are coming due in April. And I do believe I sent those resolutions out to everybody so that hopefully we can maybe look at them on our own and then in April discuss them and decide if there's anything that we're recommending for them or not.
You might want to also just email the finance committee and give them a heads up about F01.
Right. I think we have done that, but I'll remind them that it is coming due. So yeah. Okay. And then,
Yeah. By the way, on that, to avoid any particular confusion, I do think it's important that budget and finance understand that we want their input, but where this committee, bylaws, is the one that brings these things up to the board for review.
right. Right. But since it's a financial one, we want them to have a little bit of input into it also. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the appropriate way to go. I'm just saying that it would be important to sort of avoid any particular confusion as to which board members acting on which resolutions in order to get it before the board.
Right. Yeah. So, is there anything else? Right. So is there anything else that we should be considering between now and our April meeting? Keith, help me with my memory here. Or do you feel like those two are like two big things that we should just concentrate on?
Well, since today is not going to be a working meeting, then let me just pull up the marches here so we all know.
Okay. I've got your governance document up too, if you need that.
So, so the ones coming due in March Now let's see. I'm sorry. May. The ones coming due in May are B02, B05, and B06. So B02, 5, and 6.
Okay.
So since we're not going to be able to, to get any work done today, we need to add those to the agenda for the next meeting as well.
Okay. All right.
And maybe send out an email to the whole crew and just encourage people to the extent that they can to look these things over before coming to the meeting, because we won't have time during the meeting to look through all these things.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Okay. That sounds good to me. I can add those and send out those resolutions to everybody so that, like you said, take some time between now and April and look at them yourself at home so that when we get together, we can have the productive discussions, and not have
about any inputs we have. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that basically is the governance document review then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, our next meeting is scheduled for April 11th. I have to be virtual. Do you want me to send out another email like I did originally for this meeting to find out who wants to either choose to be in person in the room or just do this again, have just a virtual only option for April?
I think we should just keep it virtual. If you can't be there in person, I just say we keep it virtual. I mean, there's not going to be any snacks. Yeah. So.
Right. And Linda has already said that if we need the room, it's already booked for us. So it's not like I have to request it again. You know what I mean? So for some reason, if you all wanted to meet in person, you could. But maybe our goal is hopefully I'll be back by the February 9th meeting. Not quite sure yet. I still have so many doctor's appointments. I'm not going to really know until April how often I got to come back to Baltimore. So for right now, let's just say our April 11th is going to be a virtual only meeting. Does that sound good?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So does anybody have anything else that needs to be discussed? This goes in the records as our shortest and quickest meeting.
One more time. What's the date of the open house? On 17th. Never mind. I got it. 17th, right?
Yeah, the 17th of May.
17th of May. Okay.
And they did say we can definitely have electricity. So okay. Because that was my concern. I said to him, I'm like, it's totally different over there. And I didn't know how many outlets and stuff they'd have. Now, the nice thing about that is we should be able to have one car. So like technically you could have your car because you've got all the monitors and stuff parked right there at our table,
okay, that's good.
And then I can park wherever, you know what I mean, and walk over. But so that's I think that might be a nice thing too. They're still working on. They're still going to have like the different food trucks and businesses and entertainment. This year they're going to have a stage, and make it a better audio for like if there's a singing group or whatever, so that people can actually hear them. So it sounds like they're making headway with it. So. But so does anybody else have anything to say? No?
Nope.
Are you good? Bob, I can suspend Robert's rules for just a minute. Not that we were using them because we don't have quorum, but do you have anything you want to share?
Who's going to advise the Budget and Finance Committee? Which liaison is going to present to the board? Steve?
Well, I mean, I think it's my as bylaws liaison. It's my responsibility.
Correct.
I think it's, as I said, I think it's worthwhile for Budget and Finance to at least review the subject matter resolutions, but it's not. If someone wants to correct me, that's fine. But I believe that in part because bylaws is required to, or maybe not required, but bylaws maintains and operates the governance tracker. That's something unless it's specifically designated to a committee, that's something that bylaws does. And to the best of my knowledge, the only committee resolutions that would need updating would be the various C resolutions dealing with the subject, that subject matter itself. In other words,
right.
Each committee is constructed by a resolution. So they would be, those liaisons would be required to handle that matter. But almost everything else, I believe, falls on this committee.
Okay. Keith, do you feel that due to the fact that we really didn't have a big official meeting today, that we need to send the governance tracker to the directors like you always do, or just to keep them up to speed, or just skip that and wait till our April meeting?
Well, it hasn't changed, has it?
Right. No, because we haven't been able to do anything. So
yeah. So I would say no.
Okay.
Take the month off, Keith.
Oh, well, all right. Is there, well, again, we don't have quorum, so we're not really voting, but should we adjourn at 1:14 p.m.?
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you. I know this was a weird last minute change in plans, but hey, we showed up, we got it. We're still working together, but I'll send out emails later, with all the stuff that we can do at home before the April meeting. So, okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.